Hi, this is Bryan and Angie. A lot of our friends had questions about what kind of gear we're taking, uh, and not only from the beginning, but also what we transition to in the end. So we figure we'd make a quick gear video and see where it goes.
So we are leaving out today to head towards the Appalachian Trail, and we will start our hike on Monday. Knowing that we're starting in February, we have a lot of extra items that most thru hikers would consider extra anyways, and warm gear to hike with to be comfortable.
So this is our winter gear since we're starting out in February. So first piece of gear that every backpacker needs, of course, is a backpack. I've got the REI Flash 55. I don't think they make them anymore, but it's been a good backpack for me. I haven't worn it out, so we're gonna keep going with it till I wear it out. Inside, I do keep a contractor bag because I'm super paranoid about getting my gear wet. I learned that lesson the hard way in the military, and I am not going to repeat that mistake.
I have the Hyperlight Mountain Gear Junction. It is a water resistant bag, so I don't have to worry about water as much, but I do choose to still put a contractor bag in the bottom for my quilt just to make sure I always have dry, warm sleep gear. I have added to this bag 2 add-ons, a water bottle holder to the strap and a phone holder, and it also holds my sunglasses. And these are to hold my umbrella. They're just little bungees.
Alright, first thing I put in my pack is my 0 degree sleeping bag.
We both have the same sleeping quilts. They are the Enlightened Equipment Revelation 0 degree quilts. We really like them a lot. They're super soft and comfy, although they are large.
The next thing, which is kind of a survival item, is our puff coat. The REI coat works just fine for me. I'm a little more hot-natured than she is, so I really don't have any issues when it comes to being too cold. So I wore this once. And we've been out in the winter and snow and everything. It's too hot for me outside. I can't.
So one thing you'll notice, we pack our bags a little differently, but as we go over the gear, we're going to pack it. I use the Enlightened Equipment Torrid coat. It is the same material as our quilts. I'm very cold nature. I wear this a lot. So this goes actually in the very top of my pack so I can get it out as often as needed.
We have down booties. They're lighter than sleep socks. So instead of bringing a nice big thick pair of wool socks, these are lighter. So it's kind of a little gear compromise.
The rest of our sleep system, we both have the Sea to Summit extra large pillow. These blow up.
And we also use a Nemo blow-up pad. Works great. Haven't had any issues with it popping or anything like that.
Item that we share is we have this little air pump that blows it up. That way you don't have to blow into the bags for either of them, and it blows it up in about 8 seconds. It's pretty fast and it's super light. I think it weighs like 3 ounces.
Yeah, we used to use a pump sack, and that's just hands down faster, better.
We have liners. These not only add a little bit of warmth to our sleeping bags, but they also keep them clean. They are a little bit different. I use the Sea to Summit Reactor. It adds 5 degrees, it says.
And I've just got a little silk liner just to keep my sleeping quilt clean. And we do say sleeping bag just because it's habit, but we are using quilts.
We both are taking a couple Walmart bags to put our dirty shoes in at night to be able, if it's freezing, to put our shoes in the bottom of our quilts so our shoes won't freeze overnight and we can put them on in the morning.
Base layers. I've got some improved base layers. I think what do I get? Get Smart Wool, I think.
Yes.
So I went with a smart wool top and bottom. Actually, let me see the bottom here. So a smart wool top. So if it gets really cold.
This is one thing we are doing different again because I do get very cold. I have sleeping base layers. These are the 32-degree heat, long sleeve and pants, and then liner socks for inside of the puffy socks. And then my hiking base layers are the Patagonia R1. Like I said, I am very cold natured, so I have a pair to hike in and then a pair that's clean to sleep in.
And I just take the one base layer. Something I pack and I keep deep in my pack because I very rarely use it. I've got a neoprene glove, a very thin neoprene glove in case it does get freezing out. Well, when it gets freezing out.
So we both have these. They are lined, they are waterproof and breathable for whenever it's freezing.
Must have extra roll of toilet paper.
Some things that I have a little differently in my sleeping gear, I take some hot hands and toe warmers. I have an emergency blanket. We actually each have one of these. We've never used these all the times we've been on, but for the 1 ounce, it's worth it for an emergency. I have a little repair kit for our pads in case they pop. I have some compression sleeves for my calves in case I start getting bad cramps or to prevent them. I have a small little journal and a Kindle, which is totally extra, but I know we'll be doing less miles to start off with and I want to be able to read.
So these are totally extra. It's a dry fit pair of shorts and t-shirt. I've heard the weather going anywhere from 20 degrees, 15 degrees, all the way to 65, so I want to be able to adjust as necessary.
Some other clothing items. I have a Mountain Hardwear beanie. It is fleece on the inside and Gore-Tex on the outside, so this is really nice when it's cold and raining. I actually have a light pair of liner gloves. They're smart wool gloves, and then just some rain gloves. These might end up staying home since I have the other ones. I have one spare pair of socks for hiking, so in Gingy and Darn Tough. These are what I'm wearing, and then I'm bringing a spare pair. I have rain socks, the sealskin rain socks, and then a couple IT band braces.
So very similar to her, since even right off over the next few days, we're gonna hit a 5 or 6 day rain stretch. So we've got the sealskin socks. They're waterproof, they work great. Your feet do get cold in them from being immersed, but they don't get wet. So inside of that, I wear my Angie socks, and it'll keep my feet very dry. These are my spare socks for the next day, and then a second set of underwear, which that's ex officio also. I like the ex officio because it's they just don't stink as much as the other underwear, so they're antimicrobial and all that kind of stuff, so pretty nice to have.
That's one thing I didn't show you. I have 2 pairs of spare underwear in here. I do like to change out my underwear and have fresh underwear each day. So I use the Hyperlight pods. As we were talking here, one pod is all of my camp items. So these are things I don't need at all while we are hiking.
And then we get into our seasonal or kind of stuff that can get wet if it rains. One of the advantages of having a good, strong hiking partner is we can split gear, and I carry the tent and rain fly, and that just stuff's right over here.
I have the tent poles, and I have the ground cloth. We use the Big Agnes 3-person ultralight tiger wall tent. I did make an alteration, which we will show you this in a future video when it's set up, to the footprint, so that way our little alcove coming in and out, it's extended a little bit so we're not climbing in and out in the mud.
I carry the stakes, and I also carry this cook system Cook system's pretty neat. I've had a lot of people ask about, hey, what do you eat on trail? What do you cook? How do you cook? What do you do? Super simple system. This is our stove, little MSR stove. It's the smallest one we could get. Lighter, and then we've got our Toaks titanium pot, and we keep our gas inside of here, inside the stove. And it seems to, we haven't run out, so that's just the way it is. We use a rag so we don't get a rust ring inside of our pot.
And as far as the cook system goes, it's kind of random who packs it up. I have more luxury items, so things are larger in my pack. So a lot of times he'll end up carrying it just because it's hard to fit. But as we go, we end up, either one of us will have it. We both have a long-handled spoon. It's mine's I think Sea to Summit and his is Toaks, but they pretty much look the same. Long-handled spoon to eat. Extra baggies for trash. We both use the Z-Pack food bag. These are currently packed. I'm not going to go through everything that's in there now, but we know we're setting off for a 4-day stretch. So we have a lot of food in here right now. I believe it weighs about 6 pounds. It's pretty big.
Yeah. And I guess it's normal about 2 pounds per day. You can go a little lighter if you want to eat ramen, but if you want to eat good, you're going to go a little heavier. So. And
starting off, we don't expect to be super hungry, so we're sharing some of the 2-person freeze-dried meals, adding a mashed potato or ramen to it for a little bit extra.
If we need it.
Yeah, if we need it. If we don't, we won't. This is a total luxury item for me. It takes a lot of space. It doesn't weigh much of anything. I think it's 4 ounces, but this is the GSI Outdoors cup. It sits down in this little cozy. I drink my coffee, tea, cocoa in this. I can also cold soak in this or make my ramen and things since it has the little
This is a pack cover for when it does rain. It literally goes over the top of this. Pretty convenient. Our water system, super important. I carry a 3-liter CNOC bag, and I use a Sawyer squeeze, and we gravity feed all of our water. So convenient. You can literally just take this in a stream, scoop up the water, filter it into your smart water bottle, sit around and talk for a little bit, and then bam, your water's ready to go. So it allows you to multitask while you're doing the water instead of trying to stick a water in the stream and get your hands all wet and fool with it. It's just so much easier. And then I've got my little cup. The only thing we do with our Toaks pot is we boil water in it. So everything else, all of our food and everything, is either in bags or we drink out of these little cups just to keep everything cleaner.
Our rain gear is the same. We both have the Outdoor Research Gore-Tex rain jacket. Yes, it is heavier. It is not ultralight. This weighs about 13 ounces. It is well worth it. We know we're going to hit a lot of rain February, March, April, maybe even May. It's the AT. We're outdoors. So we'd rather be dry and carry something that we know is going to keep us dry. We both also have the REI Essential Rain Pants. These are just kind of extra. They are nice in the winter because they keep you warm also.
Yeah, even on the cold 20-degree days, if you are wearing your base layers and those pants, you're good to go.
We put our rain gear on the outside of the pack because we know it'll be wet and we don't want everything on the inside to get wet. Once again, another luxury item I have, I take Crocs for camp shoes. I just like to keep a close eye on my feet. I take my shoes off, put these on. I also wear them in town. once we get there.
So this is just a little foam pad that we carry with us. If we do stay in the shelter, we'll lay this down first before we put our little air mattress on there, or blow-up mattress, or however you want to look at it, just to prevent any kind of splinters or debris or anything like that. It provides a clean surface, plus it keeps your mattress from potentially getting popped.
So this is the 1/8 inch Gossamer Gear pad.
And so far, seems to work.
So I have quite a few other items here. I have the Hyperlight umbrella. This is for going to the bathroom. I have a little trowel for digging a hole. I have some wet wipes, hand sanitizer, and a little bit of toilet paper. Now, I also choose to use a women's urinary device and a Kula cloth. During the warmer months, not necessarily when it's freezing. I don't use the Kula cloth, that's why I bring a little bit of toilet paper.
And then this is part of our bear hang system. If you've ever done a bear hang, pretty simple. You find a tree branch, put a rock in here, throw it over the branch. It's got some cordage in here. Draw up your bag so the bears can't get it.
Electronics, I am taking 2 Anchor 10,000 amp battery packs along with a wall plug and 2 cords. This will keep phone and items all charged for when we're on the trail.
Right. I just carry my phone. It lasts 3 or 4 days. I do have a charger for it, and I think I have a battery.
Yeah, they're the same one. Alright, I have a bunch of little items here. So a hand sanitizer that goes in my outside pocket, some chapstick, some headphones, sunglasses, and we both have the Black Diamond Spot headlamp. We keep them on red. That way we don't bother other hikers and blind each other.
So, and then I have my brain. This is anything that I need to get to quickly. Hat. I love that Mountain Hardwear hat. This hat has really saved my ass. It's got a Gore-Tex over the top, fleece on the bottom, so it's windproof, it's warm. It's, I don't know who thought of that, but they did a good job. Inside of my brain, I also keep a pair of liner socks in case I get blisters, Leukotape, the headlamp, which you just mentioned, and my battery bank. Charging cord, which I don't use really that often. A little Motrin earplugs, so I don't have to listen to people snore. They can listen to me. Gloves, and I do snore. And then toilet paper, toothbrush, toothpaste, and there's a teeny tiny thing of deodorant in there, because I don't like stink.
Alright, so I don't have a brain for my pack, it's just a single wall pack. So I have this little bag that makes up for the brain. I have prescription medications for my diabetes and high blood pressure. So I have all my prescription medications in here. I'm taking 45 days initially, knowing that we have friends meeting us around the 30-day mark on trail. Toothbrush and toothpaste. I have some KT tape. A little cork ball to roll out feet, a little deodorant, and some earplugs.
So she doesn't have to listen to me snore.
I do have a small little first aid kit in here too. I'll go over that later, but it's pretty much Neosporin, a few Band-Aids, some steri strips, some Leukotape for blisters, but it's just a small little kit.
And then last but not least, I've got some REI Flash trekking poles. They're the carbon 140s. I haven't broke these yet, so we're doing pretty good.
I just have the Cascade Mountain Tech. We bought these probably 5 or 6 years ago. We each had a pair, and at one point we each had one break, so we replaced them with the REI Flash, and then I'm now using the 2 remaining ones, I'll use them until they break and then replace them, but they've done good so far. Probably not the best example of how to pack my pack because usually there's a few more inches in the top here, but that's all right. You still get the idea.
Hey, big boy.
This is
It's
Junior.
Our dog Junior just woke up. Go down. Go down. Go.
All right, so we are all packed up and we will weigh them and let you see our base weights. I hope you enjoyed this and it kind of explained a little bit. This is everything we need to survive. And everything we're taking with us, what we're carrying on our pack is what we will have for the next 6 months. We will be sending probably about half of this home. Once we get past Mount Rogers, we'll be sending quite a bit of the winter gear home and our pack weights will drop significantly.
Yeah, I think we can get under 10 pounds once summertime hits, so it'll be nice and comfy. So, but until then, they're gonna weigh 20, 30 pounds.
So hope you choose to come explore with us. We will be out on trail in a few days.
Yep, hope to see you on trail, and I hope everybody has a nice, safe hike. Another thing, I'd really like to thank all of our friends and family for the questions and support and just everything that helped make this crazy adventure come together so much better.
The love everybody has shown us and the support is remarkable, and it just keeps us going and keeps us inspired. So keep with the comments, and we appreciate you all.
Yeah, we didn't even have any friends go, man, you're crazy, you're not doing this. They're like, hey, go for it.
Yeah,
So it's pretty motivational.
pretty inspiring and motivational.
So,
Thank you.
Thank